So conventional wisdom tells us that we should never burn bridges because we don't know if we'll need to cross them again. And while that advice is pretty important, there are situations that occur that require us to resist convention in order to achieve the success and to build the life that we want. So, why do successful people burn bridges? Well, it's because it's healthy, it brings focus, it positions us to move forward, and it ignites us to take action. It requires us to grow and to be present in our lives. So, there are any number of ways to burn bridges, but what we want to make sure that we do is to do it in the right way. So, whether you are in a business or a company, or frankly, in your personal life, you want to take ownership of your responsibility, your agency over your life. So see, burning bridges is really not about being Machiavellian, using deception, being unprincipled, or even ruthless. It's about developing the mindset and the skills necessary to achieve the life you want and to follow your passion. It's about how far you want to take yourself. It's about removing all of the limitations we place on ourselves. It's about acting decisively because we always have a choice. And it's about having the courage. Again, I'm going to say that again. It's about having the courage to travel or cross some bridges, to build new bridges, and to burn others in order to seize opportunities, as well as to let go of the activities, environments, and yes, sometimes, even the people or relationships that hinder our success. So when you are faced with a situation where you have to burn a bridge, you want to be very thoughtful about it. You want to make sure that you have all of your faculties. See, oftentimes, we lean into conventional wisdom because we are able to avoid burning any bridge at all costs. See, we convince ourselves that that is the prudent and, frankly, the safe choice, so we stay in our comfort zone, paralyzed by the fear of failure, the fear of change, and the fear of loss. And so when we do that, we never really consider how much it costs us to stay in our safe space and not burn a bridge, right? We want to make sure that we own our decisions and that we show up in our lives. And while conventional wisdom, again, has us saying we should never burn a bridge, bridges are important to help us achieve what we want to achieve in our lives. But we have to take control and manage which ones we cross. So there are, in our personal and professional lives, significant precipitating events that occur to help us grow and to help us advance toward the success we desire. Now, in my first significant precipitating event occurred extremely early in my career. After graduating from Cass Tech High, I was employed at a Fortune 100 company, and I really was just trying to find my way as I worked my way through college. So my defining moment actually occurred 4 years into my tenure at the company. Having been cross-trained on a number of functions in the corporate finance department, I recognized an opportunity to improve the corporate cash position. Well, I wrote a memo and I sent it to my manager, our cash manager, and the director of our department. And shortly after that, I was presented with a number of follow-up questions from the corporate treasurer, who apparently had received my recommendations in a memo from the cash manager with his name on it. Now, I know I am not alone in this. I know that some of you have had your work hijacked. I know that sometimes when we're in a meeting and you offer contributions and thoughts, all of a sudden, it's ignored until one of your colleagues says the same thing, and it's an aha moment. So for me, being 22, an African-American woman, working in an extremely rigorous corporate environment, I decided that I was going to respond directly to the treasurer and answer his questions. Now, in the first 2 years in the company, I had actually worked with his executive assistant, so I had access to him. But I fully anticipated that once I sent the memo, I would be fired the next day. So I send the memo, she lets me know he has it, it's the close of business. I essentially distribute the copies to the manager, the cash manager, and our director, and I went home for the day. Well, when I returned the next day, to my utter shock and surprise, the director essentially said I needed to follow protocol going forward and to let him know if I have any issues or concerns before I took action. But you know what? I burned bridges that day. And I also gained the respect, support, and protection of the director as well as the corporate treasurer. So here's the bottom line. You have every opportunity and a choice to make about how you lead and structure your lives. It's really up to us individually to do that. And being afraid to burn a bridge is never the answer. So I want to leave you with this. The sun rises and we build bridges in the directions that we want to go. I want you to know that achieving success is not a spectator sport. It requires your proactive participation, your courage, and yes, burning a few bridges. Thank you.